What's on Your Mind is sponsored by ACMC 339.0, New Star Radio 98.7 FM, Breakthrough Studios, and Reggae Jam.
Welcome to another program in the series of What's on Your Mind. I'm Carl. The program is produced by Breakthrough TV at gmail.com. Hope all is well with you. Wow, so the football, how is that going? And who are you supporting? And who is going to win? I wonder. Been some exciting match. I gotta say, I think the football game is quite good at the moment. Yeah, we've heard a lot of politics about it, but I think it's been great, considering, as I say, all the politics. The actual match and the football game has actually been, I think it's very, 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 very good. I don't know if it's because we are sort of coming out of, we had the pandemic and all this sort of stuff. So a lot of people is sort of really enjoying it. So big shout. Let me say, this is a program about, I'll look at a couple of things, what's happening around the world, a couple of stories. I have a tell you what's on my mind. I have a rant, and that's it, guys. I also have a wonderful guest this afternoon, and I have the wonderful Marcia Anderson. Good afternoon, Marcia. How are you?
Good afternoon. I'm good, thank you very much. How are you,
Good,
Carl?
Wow. I got to say, you're looking lovely. How are you?
I'm good.
You're good.
How are you, Carl?
I'm fine. How's your day
Thanks for
been?
inviting me back here again. It's starting to feel like a second home. I'm here every other week now.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
Chatting my chats.
So what have you been up to?
As you know, Carl, it's been a very busy week. I believe you've been speaking to a lovely lady I spoke about last time called Lyricist B, who's putting on a pantomime, a Caribbean twist pantomime, and she's working with our children in conjunction with Children of the Sun. So, lots of planning about that. The children are taking part, and just other bits and pieces. But that's, for us anyway, that's a big thing. I have a show, and that's going to be taking place on Sunday, this Sunday, at the Legacy.
Got a couple of stories I actually need to look at. I'm going to try and hook up with Marcia. Not too far away, yeah. As you know, one of the biggest stories I came across this week is an American. And Playton Gendron, he actually murdered a lot of people in America. In fact, he murdered 10 African Americans in May. Well, he's actually pleaded guilty. And he's been given life with no parole. And this guy was like a dangerous man, dangerous, very, very dangerous. In fact, he traveled 300 miles to Buffalo and killed these people. In fact, murdered them at the supermarket. And he's only 19. And I say, he also had posted a lot of things on social media site, a lot of hate issues he had, which he posted on social media. And so that was one of those nasty things that he actually did, you know what I mean? And he was also involved with some what you call white extremists in America, you know what I mean? So we say they've got him off the street, but we see this many, many times before, you know what I mean? And we hope this is somebody they've actually taken off the street, which is absolutely quite good, you know what I mean? Sometimes I wonder what goes on in these people's head. Such a young person as well. No sympathy for him, I must say. Such a young, disgusting person, killing so many African American, you know what I mean? Just a hate crime, you know what I mean? It is what you call terrorists. It is terrorism from home and the mainland in America. That's what it is, terrorism. And as I say, absolutely disgusting. So we're glad they've been taken off the street, you know what I mean? But, you know, for everyone you take off the streets, there's always another one who comes back, you know what I mean? And I hope the system can deal with these nasty people, yeah? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the program, yeah? Now, my next story, I sort of want to move on as well. Now, a man has been charged with the murder of the young lady, and they actually killed Fatima and her two children, and she was actually got burnt, you know what I mean, in a fire, and she was taken to hospital, but she died, and we also her two children also died. So a man has been actually charged with their murder, and he's a 31-year-old man, Jim Barrow, has been actually charged with their murder, and because we always sort of report on these cases, because once you see it makes the main news, you never sort of realize, you don't know where it goes, you know what I mean. So we talked about this last week because we had her in our story last week, and so we always like to update you on what's happened next, you know what I mean. And I say we once again say big condolence to this young lady family, you know what I mean. Such a young lady as well, and her children, you know what I mean, sort of burnt in a flat, you know what I mean, such a young age, you know what I mean. So don't know how crazy people, so many crazy people out there, I don't know how they get away with this, I don't know how they do that. And I hope whoever done this, you know what I mean, the man who has been charged, you know what I mean, he'll get the full force of the law, yeah. As I say, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the program. Now, I go to Jamaica, still talking about murders as well, you know what I mean. Now, a 47-year-old man has been charged with the murder of Slicky Anna. Now this lady was murdered and she was found on the beach. And I said, this man, they've actually charged him. But the thing about this now, he's been charged. But guess what? He's been released on bail. $300,000 he's been released on bail. Now, why? I can't understand why you want to release somebody if they've been charged with murder. And, you know what I mean, why do you release them? What do you release? What are they thinking of? What is going on there? Is it the fact that you're going to go back and allow this person to do the same damn thing again? So that one I don't understand. I know everybody is innocent until they prove guilty. That's what the law says. But if you got somebody who murdered such a young lady, probably do terrible things to her, there's also another story circulating. The actually accused has done something else to another lady. That was actually circulating on social media. So if you got these people doing this sort of crazy things, why do you want to let somebody out? Yes? Why do you really want to let somebody out? And I'm back on the streets again. So as I say, I don't really understand it, and I don't get it. It's just one of those crazy things when you see things like this happen. And such a young lady, you know what I mean? That lady was actually what we call a big influencer who actually got sort of murdered, you know what I mean? And as I say, I can't understand why this man has been given bail, you know? He should have got bail, but who am I? You know what I mean? Who am I? But it's the reality of things. You say, when somebody do that and you realize, you know what I mean? And as I said before, I was on social media, there was also another lady that was talking about some things that this person actually did, you know what I mean? So I think, as I say, I hope he doesn't go and do this to somebody else, somewhere else, yeah? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the program. Now, still staying with Jamaica. Now, 3 people has been rushed to hospital. 2 vehicles was actually in a collision. And my days, this happened in St. Andrew, Constant Spring Road. And as I said, 2 people was killed. The other thing about this is that apparently one of the drivers actually run through a red light. Yes, now we know what red light does, isn't it? So if you see a red light, what is the point in you running through a red light? Yes, red light means stop. From I was born long down there, so them say red light means stop. Well, this is what happens if you don't stop. Look at the state of the car. You know what I mean? And it grieves me when you see things like this happens, because it's just like, it's a waste of life, and so many people get injured in car crashes. You know what I mean? So many people over the years get injured in car crashes when you could do a lot better. A lot of people could do a lot better. And it's disgusting, you know what I mean? You can't really deal with it. You can't really deal with it when you see it's just a waste of life, you know what I mean? A waste of life. My other story as well I want to talk about is that another situation that I actually came across is that this is in Clarendon. This is in Clarendon, Frankfield. Now, there was a party in Clarendon, Frankfield. Know Frankfield very well. A lot of A lot of my younger friends, or a lot of my families actually went to Frankfield High School. You know what I mean? So it is, as I say, it's a wonderful school. Well, this, as I said, this incident happened in Frankfield, and basically what happens, a couple of people was at a party on Saturday night, and they came out the party, and they was out on the street. Now, one of them actually take up a bottle and sling it into a policeman's face. Now, what happened then? The policeman opened fire and it shoot both men. Now, one of the men is called Smith. He was actually taken to the hospital. The other man was actually called Pink. Pink was the one who actually sling the bottle, yes, and hit the policeman in his face. Well, Pink was actually shot, you know what I mean? And he was actually killed on the spot. Smith, who was taken to hospital, he died later on. The trouble about it as well, now this policeman, he actually knew the community, and even the family, the Smith mother has said, you know what I mean, how disappointed she is, you know what I mean, because the policeman actually knew the family, and he knew the local area, he knew the people in the local area. So as I said, he allegedly shot both men, killing them, and well, as I said, another one died from his injuries because he came out of hospital. So when you see things like that going on, you just don't wonder what is actually going on in that sort of situation. You know what I mean? This is actually disgusting. And I say, if you're having fun at a party, right, and you're having a good time, I can't understand the people. If you're having fun at a party and you're having a good time, why the hell do you want to come out of the party and start slinging buckle at the police? What could be the police do so terribly? And I'm not sticking up for anybody. I'm just dealing with common sense. You go to the party, you want to have a nice time at the party. Well, I don't think that was actually closing the party down, but they've also said to some report, there's a lot of things that actually goes on around that party. There was a lot of broken bottles outside in the street. There was a lot of rubbish outside in the street. There was all kind of things that was actually going on at the party, you know what I mean? And then, as I say, it costs lives. And that's what basically happens, you know what I mean? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the program. Now, my next story is like another very interesting story which I actually came across. Now, this is a very interesting one because now a Mexican woman went to meet her online boyfriend. Yes. And guess what happened? Her body was found. Her niece actually found fired. I mean, her niece put out a report, a missing person report, because they couldn't find her. When they actually found this lady, she was murdered and her organs was taken out and sold. And she actually traveled 3,000 miles to go and meet her boyfriend. She went from Mexico to Peru. Yeah. And this is what happens. And I say, Bianca, such a terrible thing to happen to Bianca. And as I say, her niece was very, very worried, and this is the result of what happened. Now, my thing is about big condolence to the family and the friends and the whole situation. The other thing as well, you know what? I never understand why people want to have online dating. No, great if it works for some people. Some people it works fine for, brilliant. But I can't understand why people would want to have online dating. As I say, I repeat myself. Why would you want to go and meet somebody that you've never met before? It's bad enough when you go out on a normal date and meeting other people, you know what I mean? It's bad enough if you go out and see people in your town or your area, you know what I mean? You have to be very, very careful as well. Never mind meeting them on online dating. So that is one I don't actually understand, you know what I mean? I really don't understand. And I say it works well for some people. It works very, very well for some people. And but it doesn't work for everybody, you know what I mean? And I don't know what is happening, why people actually choose to do that. But the world is changing all the time. So probably I'm from the old school. Personally, it's not funny, but you see where I'm going with this. Personally, I would never, ever, ever have an online dating. Wow. So, still moving on. Now, this is also very serious. This happened in Georgia, the United States. Now, 3 employees at a sheriff's office actually They detained the man, and he was in detention. And there's a video that has gone viral, circulated in Iran. And it shows this officer beating this African American man. In Phoenix, they knock him the daylight out of him. I gotta say as well, there's clips of this going around, and we've actually got the clips, but we're not gonna show you because it's too disturbing. We've got the clips of this, but it's too disturbing, and you know what I mean. So we won't show you this. We won't show you this clip, but we have got the clips. And what they did, they battered this man in his cell, right? And what happened? Jarrett Hobbs, I mean, all he did was, I think he was in there for a traffic violation. And I think he had some issue with drugs, you know what I mean? And they battered him for no reason at all. What they did as well, when they finished battering him in his cell, they actually take him outside the cell. And they battered him in the corridor. They give him a good beating, blood everywhere and all the rest of it. As I said, that clip is going around. It's out there, it's gone viral. When they actually have him in the corridor, they battered him and beat him and beat him and beat him. Now, what they did then, there's a wheel, all of a sudden a wheelchair comes, and they just plunk him in the wheelchair. Boop! Drop him in the wheelchair. And what they do then, they push him back into the cell. When they push him back into the cell, no medical person come. No one come to help him. This actually happens in September. You know, and I say it is such a disgusting thing if you ever seen it. You know what I mean? If you go out there and look around, you'll see it. You know, because it's gone viral. And it says and this happened in Georgia. You know what I mean? Georgia. And as I say, it is absolutely disgusting to see people in charge. You know what I mean? Is doing this sort of thing. But we're talking about the South, aren't we? We're talking about the side of America, and we know some of the stuff that actually comes out of the side of America, how disgusting it can be, you know what I mean? So that's why the rapper thing always call it the dirty South. There's something in that. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the program. Now, and I really wanted to actually engage Marcy on this one because this is actually a very, very interesting one. Concerning London Fire Brigade. Now, London Fire Brigade has been accused. There's a report that actually came out about London Fire Brigade. Institutional racist. The report also is very damning. This report is very damning and very harsh what they get up to. You know what I mean? Bullying Afro people and ethnic minority people. Women tell stories of when they go for training exercises. They're being groped. Yes. Also, there's the Muslim colleagues. When the Muslim colleagues who actually work with them, what they actually do, they actually put bacon in their sandwiches, in their lunch. When they put their lunch around or in the fridge, they put bacon in it. The other thing, a female fire officer has actually said in the report what she does. She tell all her friends not to ask a fireman to come and check their smoke alarm, because when they actually come to check their smoke alarm, guess what they do? They go around the house and they search up. If you're a female, they search your house. They go up. They look in your drawers. In fact, they look in your drawers. Yes, I said drawers. Yes, drawers where your flipping underwear is, and they start looking at your underwears, and they're also. There's another, which is another cruel thing. They start looking for sex toys. Absolutely disgusting. You know what I mean? And I say, the chief of the London Fire Brigade, I must say to him, he says he will stand no racism and he will stand nothing from that sort of behavior in the service. And these are the people who that you trust. These are the people who are supposed to look after you, and these are the people that you're supposed to be all right with. You know what I mean? But I must say, over the years, this is not the only institution this thing has happened in, because I've heard of a story where it happens in different organizations, or even some. I was talking to a lady earlier on, you know what I mean, and she was telling me about one of her friends at work, and the same sort of thing that happens to you. You know what I mean? They bully you, they do all kind of crazy things to you in a time like now, which is absolutely ridiculous. You know what I mean? So we hope the chief can deal with this, because, as I say, if you can't trust a fireman Who can you trust? Once a lot of people wanted to be firemen and they wanted to do this, and you, oh, I'm going to join the fire brigade. You know what I mean? But there seems to be a sort of bullying culture in the London Fire Brigade. Also, another lady has actually said, basically, um, for what's her exact words was, for something to happen, it will be like having your eyes gouge out. Yes, that's what this one lady said in the reports. So as I say, it has been a very, very damning and dangerous report. So we'll see if they actually fix up. Yeah. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the program. I want to say a big shout out to you, Christine. Let me say thank you for tuning into the program. And if it's your birthday, let me say happy birthday. Michelle, how you doing, girl? I know it's your birthday tomorrow. Let me say a big, big shout out to you. I'm not going to say your age because you're going to say, ooh. I wouldn't do that. But let me say happy birthday to you tomorrow. I hope you enjoy your day, whatever you do. And I know you work very hard, and things is hard for everybody at the moment, you know what I mean? But look after yourself and keep the faith, girl, and look after yourself. I'll say thank you. Also want to say a big shout out to my good friend Philip. How you doing, sir? And your family. Hope all is well with you. Gary, how you doing? Big, big shout out to you. Hector up there, United States, how you doing? The Macau Flamme in Canada. Big, big shout out to you. Hope all is well with you. Helen, big, big shout out to you. Didn't shout you last week. You must have said, why didn't you shout me? There's so much people names in my head. And I'm not getting any younger. But my memory is still good, you know what I mean? In fact, my memory is so good today, it's ridiculous. Yeah, I'll say, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the program. Now, the richest man in the world. Yes, Elon Musk. Now, Elon Musk has accused Apple of threatening to remove its app store without giving a reason on social media platform. And now, Elon has been actually really the richest man in the world, you know what I mean? He's been actually fighting with a lot of people. At only today, I seen there's been a big thing going on between him and the CEO of Apple. You know what I mean? They're having a big, big thing going on as well. I must say as well, I came across this. I actually was going to talk about this last week, and I actually came across this about Elon Musk as well. Now, what he has actually done, and he talks about free speech, so I'm having my free speech here, because whenever you say anything about it, you always say, Elon Musk say, well, it's free speech, so I'm having my free speech here. What he actually says about some things is the fact that a lot of people are very, very concerned with the fact that he's, some people had their account blocked on Twitter. Well, a lot of those people, he's actually opened back up their accounts again. And some people are very concerned. In fact, one writer was actually saying he's very concerned about this. Because what it actually does, it allows people from the right wing, the far right, the KKK, we know what them is about, the KKK, race hate people, you know what I mean? And all those sort of people, all those sort of people with, that hate crimes, and they are allowed back to actually put their propaganda and back on Twitter. You know what I mean? So, as I said, people are very, very concerned about this. This one writer, he says he's very, very concerned about it, and it could be very, very dangerous. You know what I mean? I say he's allowed those people whose account was blocked, some of them, to back on Twitter. I know Kanye West is back on Twitter, as always, yay. And also Donald Trump is back on Twitter, you know what I mean? I don't know how long they're staying there for. So, as I say, I can understand those people concerned, you know what I mean? So, but when you are the richest man in the world, money talks, ain't it? Do what you want to do, I guess. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Good afternoon, Marcy. How you doing? I can see you. Can you see me?
I can
Talk
see
to me.
you.
I know. I'm sorry about the technical issues.
Seems to be, I know, and there's a delay as well.
Is there a delay?
So I'm seeing myself like 2 seconds ago. But yeah, I'm good.
You're
Trying to make
good.
sense of this. Yeah.
Right. So I was talking about the richest man in the world. What do you think about the richest man in the
Elon
world?
Musk.
Yes.
Elon Musk. I'd love some of that money.
You lost some.
Yeah.
How did I know you was gonna say that?
I know, I'm just predictable. But yeah, it's good that he's kind of opening. I don't know. I'm not really on Twitter, so I
Yeah.
don't. It's not my arena really. I think that's a world I don't know much about. But I think the fact that he's let some people in that were banned is open up freedom of speech a little bit more. I think is a good thing.
Yeah,
But a lot of people chat things that probably shouldn't be aired anyway. So I don't know.
yeah,
We can't have it our way all the time.
yeah, but
You can't have one rule for one and another
yeah.
have a different rule. So I don't know where I stand at the moment with Elon Musk. I've not been following the whole
I'll say
debacle.
my concern is another thing. A lot of people concern is the fact that you can allow. I mean, Elon Musk talk about free speech, but what you can do, you can allow all these, as I say, people like the KKK. You know what I mean? The far right,
Mm,
the extremes, terrorists.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Even terrorists. Because we see what terrorists did to America, not just America. So you can all cause these people on Twitter sharing
Mm,
those information and also encouraging hate crime. So that is the dangerous thing
mm,
about that. Yeah,
it is.
that's where I'm with that.
It, yeah, yeah. What's his agenda though? What's his agenda? What's he?
Well, as you
You
know, he's the
know.
richest man in the world. I think he wants to probably
Mm,
maybe he wants Apple. I don't know if he wants Apple because he's always in a sort of fight with Apple, any or app. Yeah, what they call it. So I don't know. But I say when you're the richest person in the world, you, want, you can own the world, can't you?
mm,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
What do you think?
Got to show your power. Got to wield your power somehow.
I remember there's never
And
enough. When you got money, there's
yeah,
never
yeah.
enough.
That's what happens when you have too much, I think.
Yeah, and they don't give us any, do they?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All of
You was
that
actually
dirty
telling us
money.
about earlier on that you're in a play, a pantomime play.
Yeah, Children of the Sun have been invited to join Miss Lyricist B,
Mm-hmm.
Miss where's my brain at tonight? Janet
Barrett,
Janet anyway, Lyricist B. My brain is somewhere else tonight. It's all these
get
technical
your
difficulties we've
get
been
it back.
having.
Shake out the
But
sawdust.
no, the play is called Queenie and the Three Hair,
Here's.
Heirs, and it's going to
Yeah.
be at the Legacy Centre on Sunday.
Mm,
It's a pantomime, so it's a take on Goldilocks and the Three Bears sort of thing, and
yeah.
but it's a Caribbean twist, so it's got it's a Caribbean tale for
Yeah.
all the family, written by Miss Lyricist B of the Bob Marley play that was on at the Crescent the other day, Get Up, Stand Up, which was very, very, very successful. So
Mhm.
it's not to be missed for all the family, whether you're Caribbean or not, and there's some good morals to learn in the play. And our children are having a small role in there. They'll be making a little guest appearance
Yeah.
in the play, in the pantomime. So it's good for the babies all the way up to the grands. Everyone can come. It's a good family event. All right. So check it out. It's the Legacy Centre, Sunday the 4th, 4 o'clock until 5:30. So short and sweet.
And what part you
A
play?
good reason to get together. What part do I play?
Yeah.
Me. I'm not in it. I
You're
don't
not seen
act.
it.
I just, I'm not in it.
I've actually
No,
heard it
we leave
because
that to the talented. Leave that to the talented
I've
people.
interviewed Gene. I call it Gene, and I've
Mm,
actually heard it's got a twist in it.
Janet.
Now, one of the interesting bit, I'm not
Yeah.
going to give it away. One of the interesting thing I actually, when I interviewed Gene on radio, one of the interesting thing I got out of it was the fact that it sort of brings all the Caribbean people together. You know, like me's from that island, me from that island, you come from Small Island, you come from Big Island.
Yeah.
So it sort of got a twist where it brings all these people to sort of together. Yeah, that's. I'm not gonna give any more of it away.
Yeah.
So that's
That's
what I get out
exactly
of
what
it
the
when I
play's
actually
for.
talk to Gene. Yeah,
That's the aim, to bring the Caribbean together. No more
yeah,
of this, large island, small island
yeah. Thank you,
mentality.
thank you.
We're
That's what
all
I'm
one.
trying to say. You know what I
We're
mean?
all one people.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's that,
So,
which is
yeah,
which is actually
it's
marvelous.
well worth supporting, though. It's not often we have a pantomime in our communities, and
Yeah.
so it's a bit different. I've not been to one since I was a child, so I'm excited to be at this and to have our
I tell you
children
what, I've
involved.
never been to a pantomime, you know.
Haven't you?
No.
You have to go. Oh,
You know
Mary!
what?
Oh no, you
You know
didn't.
what?
What
No.
did you have to do?
Um,
I'm sure there's going to be a lot of that.
It's maybe strange. Some some people you see around. That means one big pantomime.
Yeah,
You know the
life's
ones
been
that
a
is.
massive pantomime.
Some people you see around there in the pantomime every day. I
True,
got to have fun
true.
at it. You know, I'm like this. I'm on fire.
World is a big pantomime. It's turned into a big
Yeah,
old
that's
ball of
great.
madness
Great.
right
Yeah,
there.
right. Okay.
Mm.
Let me say thank you for
So
that.
yeah, nice way to enter into December anyway. With
Yeah,
lots of
yeah, yeah. It's
laughs. We
great.
need some laughs and cheer.
Yeah, yeah, that's it. That's great. And tomorrow is December,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Mm. I know. Hasn't this year flown?
It is fun. It's just gone. You don't know where it's gone. Anyway, let me just look at sports. And now, you've heard of Asifa Powell, haven't you? Now, Asifa Powell has retired. Now, you see, Asifa Powell. Now, before there was Usain Bolt and all those guys, there was Asifa Powell. Asifa Powell was the actually 100 meters record holder. Yeah. And he actually did great. You know what I mean? He actually say Asifa Powell, he actually did actually great. And as I said before, there was Usain Bolt, there was Asifa, and he's retired now. He's believe it or not, and he's been fit. He's been fit because he's actually 40 years old now. Yeah. So he's been there a long, long time. And you know what? Away from we always look up to the Americans, which was always good. He was like, you know what I mean, from our island. He was from the Caribbean. He was from the West Indies, you know what I mean. So he was, you know what I mean, away before the great Don Corey and all those guys, you know what I mean, and Merlin, you know what I mean. So he was that guys, you know what I mean, who actually was such a major influence to like all of us, you know what I mean, which is absolutely great, you know what I mean. So, and Usain Bolt has actually achievements, you know what I mean? So it's actually good. Asafa, as I say, is absolutely wonderful and absolutely fantastic, you know what I mean? Brilliant. So we say big, big congratulations to him. And thanks for all the support and the influence he's given us all over the years. Yeah. Thank you. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the program. Now, quick look at football. Now, I got to give you the football scores first before I actually move on. Now, Senegal beat Ecuador. Now, Senegal will be playing England on Sunday. Yes. Also, the Netherlands beat Qatar. Yes. And also, USA beat Iran 1-0. Now, also today, Australia beat Denmark, which also was 1-0, which is very, very interesting. And I think actually France actually lost today as well. France, who is the world champion. France got beat 1-0 by Tunisia. Wow. Now, so, England, as you know, I know you all know it already. So, Marcus Rashford literally sent Wales back home to the green grass of home. I should say, Sir Marcus Rashford, he was excellent. You know, I don't think Wales actually did come to the party. You know what I mean? You cannot play in the English league or whatever. Some of those players actually played in the English league and or the Premier League. A lot of them didn't actually came to the party. And so, as I say, England will play Senegal on Sunday. So that will be interesting. Now, as I say, England is, got to the last 16. Now, the rest of it won't be easy. You know what I mean? It's not going to be easy for them now. So it's going to be actually tough. So we'll see what happens next. You know what I mean? So we see what happens. And as I say, and I think it's, before they're always saying Marcus Rashford, they're always using Marcus Rashford as a substitute. This time he wasn't used as a substitute, you know what I mean? So he actually started the game, which you see what happens when you actually start the game instead of bringing your other substitute. Mind you, the last game he was in, I think he came in as a substitute for 45 seconds. He had the ball for like 45 seconds. One, two, three, and it was in the box. Yeah. Good on you, Marcus. And we actually love Marcus, and he is a good role model, and because he's been doing a lot of things for children and all that sort of stuff, you know what I mean, and helping children and parents and all the rest of it, you know what I mean, find food for their children and food meals, school meals, and all that. Talk to me, Marcia.
He's a real
Hello.
hero,
Yeah,
Marcus.
yeah.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah,
Yeah. Fantastic hero. And it's great for our children to have a modern day hero,
that's right. Yeah.
that they can look up to. You say to most children, yes, he's a hero for the football, but they appreciate the fact that so many children are having holiday schemes, for instance, and clubs where they're getting breakfast and lunch during the holiday time.
Yeah.
And it's a shame that we live in a country where children have to go hungry and they've got to go to a scheme, such as mine. During the
Yeah.
winter, we provide food. During the summer holiday, we're providing food as well, breakfast and lunch. And not everyone needs it, but quite a large proportion were happy to have that assistance. And just what's happened to, everyone has to familiarise themselves with a food bank just in case, because you never know what's going to happen with this
And you
situation
was
we're
talking
in.
about good things. So you see, Marcus Rashford is doing good things. I told you we have some good things in this program.
Wonderful things. Wonderful. Wonderful. Wonderful
Yes.
man. And he's so
So
young as well, such a
yeah,
young man. But he's taken his lived experience and his newfound wealth and he's done something good. So he's a hero, man. And don't
and
ask me about
I
football
was
because I know
listening to
nothing.
Stormzy. You know, Stormzy the rapper,
Mm,
and he was saying how
mm.
excited it was all about the good work that Marcus is actually doing.
Yeah, they're both modern day heroes, both Stormzy and it's good to see them work together, and collaborate, complement each other, acknowledge each other, because often we sort of have each other pit against each other. So
Yeah,
it's wonderful, and they're both so young as well. So it
yeah,
just shows you the difference having a focus and a good heart can make a difference to a mass of people.
yeah. And we actually need people like that.
We
I
need
mean,
more. We need more.
I don't know if
We
you see
do
a
need
clip
more.
today. I actually came across a clip today, and where some youths was going around with mask on the face. You know what I mean? I mean,
Okay.
we can go back to a time when you could see an Afro person in the street, and you didn't have to go on a mask on your face. And I'm not talking about COVID. I'm not talking about youths hiding their face because of
Mm,
different things that is going on.
I know. I know. I think when you're involved in that world of crime, I suppose you have to disguise yourself. You never know who's coming for you. So it's that's if they are criminals. I'm not going to be the one saying somebody walking around with a scarf around their
No,
face
I
is a
don't think that
criminal.
is. I
But
don't think that is well. I think it's probably sometimes it's just fear, and you don't want to be recognized because you have all
mm,
this damn era code thing in here.
yeah, you got to go into got to go carefully wherever you step as a youngster. It's some young people have found themselves in the wrong place at the wrong time, and yeah, it's vicious. It's vicious out there, and I don't really understand it. We can never understand it because it doesn't make any sense. It's not something that's explainable, really. This how young people every time we're turning on the news, we're hearing about vicious attacks on innocent people as well. They're not all. At one point, it would have been gang related attacks, and that's some other world. But now, innocent youngster can be walking through um, on a street and stopped for some
Yeah,
reason and get into an argument. And
yeah,
instead
yeah.
of being slapped and kicked, he's stabbed. Do you know what
I
happened
know.
to just the days when kids just used to have a scrap and you end up with a bloody nose and the worst that would happen is you lose a couple of teeth. You know what I mean? Not lose your life.
Yeah.
you
Let me
know.
just say we apologize for the bad internet connection. We apologize for that. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Okay. Right. Anyway, let me move on. Let me go on to entertainment. As I said, we're sorry for the bad internet connection. Yeah. Yes. But as I say, that's how it goes sometimes. Now Ashanti and Ja Rule was in Kingston, Sabina Park. Touchdown. Wow. On Saturday night. And they actually did a fantastic show. Ashanti covered Dawn Penn. No, no, no. You know that one. That big tune that Dawn Penn had. And also they covered Egyptian Hold You in a their style. You know what I mean? And they say they love the dancehall thing. I must tell you, we actually talked to Dawn Penn at the 0121 festival. And you can also you can go and check that out as well. You know what I mean? We talked to Dawn Penn, and she was actually marvelous, wonderful lady. You know what I mean? So I say, if you go back to some of the shows we've done, you'll actually see Dawn Penn. You know what I mean? Not too far back, somewhere in the 70s. You can actually check that out. Yeah, which is actually marvelous. So I'll say, Ashanti and Ja Rule, lick it down at Sabina Park, Jamaica style. Yeah, don't forget, and you can see her clothes, Jamaica style, innit? Yeah, nice. Also, moving on. Now, Rihanna and her boyfriend, Asap Rocky, attended Beanie Man show in Barbados. It was at the Kensington Oval. Yeah. And actually, they has a wonderful time. And I say, Mr. ASAP, you can pronounce that a whole lot of different ways if you want to. You know what I mean? What an unusual name that is, but it's one of those. It was one of those ones, isn't it? So as I say, they touched down at Barbados, Kensington Oval. You know what I mean? And say they was all backstage with Beanie Man. Yeah, yeah. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the program. Marcia, you're into your music, aren't you?
I am indeed. I
So
am
tell me some of.
indeed. But
Do you like a lot of the new music around now?
some, but you know what? I didn't think this would ever happen to me because I've loved music for so long and I've always stayed abreast of all the latest stuff. I'm getting older because a lot of it's starting to sound like noise to me now, you know.
Yeah.
So it's all starting to sound a little bit. No, let me take that back. It's not all starting to sound, but there's a sound that everyone's reproducing and it's overdone. And I'd like to hear some different sounds, some originality. But I love Rihanna. I love
What do,
Ashanti,
what do you
ASAP
mean all the
Rocky.
studio sounds? What do you mean all the studio sounds
Yeah,
sound the same?
I know. Didn't that's what our parents used to say about our music though? What's all this rap? It all just sounds like the shouting and they're not singing anymore. And it's all artificial synthesized, sampled stuff. Bring back real music. Didn't our parents used to say that?
No, I'm not at
Yeah, I'm
all.
starting to sound. Well, I am, and I remember my parents cussing about the music we used to listen to,
Serious.
and they used to say, "Ah, nothing like Sam Cooke and Al Green and Jim Reeves."
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm
I,
kind of
I,
like, oh,
I mean, my parents was right up there. Cause
Stevie Wonder.
my father was a musician, so my parents was right up there. I
Hmm.
mean, I remember my mother loved Bob Marley. She also loved one of her
Yeah,
favorite track. She always loved a Donna Summer track. No, not that one. She had a song called "State of Independence."
yes,
That is
beautiful
actually a
track.
fantastic track. And my mother loved that. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, yeah, absolutely
that
fantastic.
was an original.
Yeah,
That was a
and
classic.
she always tell me the story about Bob Marley. And the story she always
Hmm.
tells me about Bob Marley is because there's other stories about Bob Marley, but the one she always tell me is the fact that when Bob Marley was young, Bob Marley went to the United States and farm work, and he was working up there for a while. But after the work had finished, he literally saw my mother in Kingston. And he said to my mother, I don't know what I'm going to do again, you know. I don't know what I'm going to do again. The work up there done. We can't get no work. This was a very, very young Bob Marley. And when Bob Marley made it, and she was like the biggest fan. You know what I mean? I know she loved No Woman No Cry. You know what I mean? She absolutely loved that. She was like one of Bob Marley's biggest fans. You know what I mean? So she always tell me that story.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic.
How could you not? How
Yeah,
could you not be a Bob Marley fan?
yeah.
So yeah, but I love music though. But after a while, if the
Mm.
artists just keep on competing with each other with the same track, the same backing track, do you know what I'm saying, Carl? Or am I really sounding like I've lost
No, I
touch with
do, I
what's
do, I do
happening in the
understand
music
exactly what you're
world?
saying. Anyway, I got to move on because my little rant, and I want you to take part in this rant with me because London Fire
Okay.
Service has been accused.
Mm-hmm.
No, they haven't been accused. A report has actually comes out of international racism. Yes, bullying, and a whole lot of things. You know what I mean? I was one fire lady has actually said she told her friends not to let the London Fire Brigade come to their house because what they do, they go upstairs and they look in your drawers and looking around your underwear drawers and all that sort of things. No, how is it this is happening? You know what I mean? People that you're supposed to able trust. How can this be happening? Marcia, are you there?
I'm
Hello.
here. I'm
Yeah.
hearing that. I'm hearing that. Oh gosh, it doesn't make me feel good because we
No.
trust these people with our lives,
Yes.
you know, and I don't know how they're selecting these people. You're hearing about these kind of the corruption in the police, sexual misconduct is rife, even in the hospitals, in the NHS, and so on. So,
Yeah.
but how do you root these people out? You know, if you have a, if you're a perv, basically, because this is perversion now we're talking
It is.
about,
It is. It is.
then
But
you know,
racism is not just perv, is it? Racism is not perv. What they are saying is racist.
racism,
Racism as well.
racism
Also,
as well, and that's terrifying to
yeah,
think
us,
that they're in numbers
yeah, yeah.
in these forces. A lot of reports have been coming out. Sorry, I'm getting a bit of a delay, so I hope it doesn't sound like I'm speaking across you.
You're fine.
But so many reports are coming out, and they're finding out just how entrenched this is in these systems. You
Yeah,
know, in the police, in the nursing profession, in the royal family, in the
yeah.
palace. We had the news
There's
story,
something out
didn't we? I
today.
don't know if you mentioned that.
Yeah, I,
Yeah, but it's disturbing when it takes place within the caring professions because you know so many lives are in their hands, and you know
yeah, yeah.
it's
And I say
terrifying
one
to think
Muslim,
that you could be.
one of the one of these
Hmm.
Muslim colleagues, actually, as I said earlier on, they spread bacon in his sandwiches. You know what I mean? And that sort of thing. You know what I mean? That sort of thing. One lady
No.
also she also reported that in the report when they go for their exercise, their training exercise, they got grope.
Hmm.
How can this be going on?
Yeah.
How can this be going on in time like this? And we see
Yeah.
so many people standing up from so many different things. So how can this be going on in today's time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not just today's time. It's been going on for decades, but it's just
Yes.
now that people are feeling able to talk. I think before that they wouldn't have been believed. Everyone would have closed ranks against that particular person,
Yeah.
who you know any particular whistleblower,
Yeah.
and but these things are coming out. These things are being revealed more and more.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
I know. I
it's
know. One of the ones,
but
isn't it?
it's decades people have been talking about this. And now there's so much evidence because people can record what's going on, secretly capture these things on camera. So they've got proof of what is taking place behind the scenes.
Yeah. I know. Wow. Anyway, I need to move on. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about football. Ronaldo. Now, Ronaldo actually scores a penalty against Ghana. Now, some people say it wasn't a penalty, and some say it was a cheat, and some say he's not. When the youngsters see this, they're actually getting a bad example, right? He's showing a bad example, right? So I understand that, and I can actually deal with that. But my point is not that. My point is showing a bad example. So there's the one where a lot of people we see in the press that they was actually talking about. Oh, when we go to Qatar, we can't get any beer. There's no beer near the stadium. We can't go have a beer. We can't have a drink. Now, I wasn't dealing with Ronaldo. I'm just dealing with good example, right? So everybody's complaining about we can't have a beer, we can't have a drink. No, it's not showing a good example because it's all over the press. Now, some youngsters who's growing up, they're gonna think, my days, my days, my days. Did I say my days? They're gonna think, my days. Football is about getting pissed up, yeah, and getting drunk. Now, if you cannot go to a football match for 3 hours and do without a beer, there's something wrong in your head, or there's something wrong with you. I'm talking about a good example. So, two wrongs doesn't make a right. But do you see what I'm saying there? And it was all over the press, all in different papers. We can't get to the beer. So when you see that, you think, well, football, are some young people coming up? We know it's not. When you see that, you think, oh, football is about playing football and getting drunk and getting pissed. Now, the thing about that as well, what beer does to you, it damages your kidney, alcohol, it damages your lungs, and it damages your liver. And it's not funny. It is not funny. It is not funny. So that is what I call picking sense out of sense, showing a good example. Marcia.
Don't talk to me about what's going on in the world of football. But yeah, there's a culture, isn't it? And it's all lads drink
Yeah.
and all the things they do. It's odd to think that Qatar was chosen as the place. So when
Marcia, I'm sorry, I've got to cut
yes,
you. I got to cut you because okay,
okay.
carry on a little while.
No, it's all right. I
No,
know nothing about
carry.
football, so let me not comment on
Okay,
what these guys do.
okay,
But
quickly.
I'd be
The
Mhm.
global I know you want to say something about the global majority.
Yeah. Um, Westminster City Council have
Mm,
decided to drop the term BAME after
yeah.
years, and no one really liked that expression. So
Mm-hmm,
they've now come up with decided to use a term for BAME people, replace that term with global majority people, which
mm-hmm,
is us, people of colour, basically. So they'll use this in all their correspondences and communications to be more inclusive and diverse. And yeah, this is due to Black Lives Matters. Obviously, a lot of questions were raised about the use of the word, the phrase, the
mm-hmm.
term BAME. And yeah, so
So
what do
you
you
don't
reckon to that,
do you
Carl?
like that quickly because we
It's
gotta move on.
only,
Do you like
do
that
I like it?
do you like that majority? What they're saying?
Well, they've made it's Westminster Council's move to become more anti-racist in their organisation.
Mm,
I know we've been using the term in certain circles, global majority, for decades. It's not
mm,
new. I think them adopting it, it's controversial because we live in a place where there's going to be a lot of reaction, a lot of hate.
mm.
Um, but
So you
people
think
once they start feeling
so you think there's
threatened,
possibly
but
a
now if
backlash
we're a
towards
majority,
it?
backlash. If we're now seen as acknowledged as a global majority,
Mm-hmm,
then the more insecure ones are obviously going to start feeling threatened by that. But that's not my concern. I think it's good for us to start thinking in that way
Hmm.
because we are, um, a global majority,
Of
and it
course.
opens up the world a little bit more for us. I think when you constantly, words have spells, words have deeper effects on us, and when you're
Hmm.
constantly addressed as a minority, we behave in that way. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? But obviously, recognizing that we're bigger than this coast, we are in numbers across the globe. It's a good one for youngsters to hear as well.
Yeah.
There's nothing, as Prince used to say, we are not a minority. There is nothing minor about us. You
Yeah.
know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So majority thinking and everything that comes with that is fantastic. But at the moment, it'd be interesting to see how it goes down in this on this little island.
Hmm.
It's I've spoken to some people about it, and it's a mixed reaction from both from black and white, really.
Yes.
Many feel
So
just too
let me
much
ask you
too
then,
soon.
why couldn't they just label
Incons-
us as people? I am a citizen of the
as
world.
people, yeah. Well,
Why do
you
you have to
know what?
label us different, 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 different? Because we all know we're people of the world.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
don't need
I
labels.
know, I know. It would be good to get to that place, and you know, it's- it would be good to get to that place at some stage. But taking the moves to move away from labeling us in negative ways, as if we're in the way, minoritizing us all of the time.
And why
It
not
does
just
affect our
adjust?
thinking.
Sorry, why not just adjust,
Why not just adjust?
address us by our name?
Yeah, I know. In where you live in a place where systems have to run, then they obviously need to categorize. Eventually, we'll live in a world where that won't be necessary. But right now, I'd rather be seen as a global majority than an ethnic minority. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
Um,
I would rather be seen as a citizen of the world or by my
yeah,
name
yeah,
than another
yeah,
label that's gonna put on
yeah,
us. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Because
yeah. Don't get me wrong. It's not something. It's a fact. We are the global majority. Whether we need to be using that in official. I don't know.
and they only
Yeah,
label
it's
like
like
people of
there
color,
being another
don't they?
agenda.
You see what I'm saying?
Say that
The thing
again.
is, this thing they only label people of color.
Yeah, it's not going to work. I mean, can you
No.
imagine a form and you're ticking the box and there's a category and it says global majority? That's still not. It's very idealistic, but it's still not really going to be functional. So, it seems like a very idealistic way of approaching the situation. Um, But I hear you. I think it would be good to get away from the labels
That's
and
right.
start
I
thinking
mean, the one I
and
quickly,
just,
the one I hated, did I say hate? I shouldn't use that word, but the one I disgust was the BAME. And a lot
that's
of
right.
people, a lot of Afro people has embraced it so much.
Mm.
And that used to wind me up so much, you know? It used to wind me up so much. And
Yeah,
I used
well,
to hear Afro people using it. And it just, ooh, yeah.
I know. Well, this is supposed to replace BAME. This is the replacement.
Mm,
So it's kind of gone from that, and I'm not saying from one extreme to the other because I don't see this as an extreme. I come from a community where we use expressions like this to refer to ourselves all the time, so it's not new to me. To others, though, I think it might be a bit shocking, and some might see it as putting one group against another now. It
yeah.
almost feels like a bit of a social experiment to me. Just to let's see what happens if we provoke the people on this little island a little bit more. It's
Exactly.
bad enough that they're facing all these migrants coming in from every corner. Now they're told that. So if we're the social global majority, they are now the global minority. Do they? you know? I don't think they want to be reminded of that. But as I say, I'm not really here to be, um, you know, putting that side of the argument anyway. So
Okay.
yeah, I
Thank you,
think
Marcia.
if it encourages if it opens up our thinking about ourselves, then it's a wonderful expression to use.
Marvelous. Let me s-
But that's how we. Mhm.
let me say
I know you're running out of time.
yeah, we've reached the end. Let me say thank you. Thank you for taking part in the
Oh,
show. We hope to see you very, very soon again. Thank you.
I'd love to be back.
Yeah,
Give you another 5 minutes. What was going on with the technicals?
I know.
Oh my
Not to
dear.
worry.
But yes, I'm
Let,
glad to have
once again, thank
at
you.
least shared this. And when I come back, Carl, we need to talk about the Windrush
Okay.
compensation scheme.
Yeah, I've heard about
Please,
that.
people, look it up. It's not just for those who are impacted by the Windrush scandal. It's for anybody at all who came here or lived in this country before 1973.
S- Yeah,
We're also entitled to compensation, but no one's talking about it. And that's because of the traumatic effects on us because of the racism experienced during that time. They've
yeah.
recognised that there's some reparation and compensation due. I'll just advise anyone before we're on this again, check out the Windrush compensation scheme, gov.uk.
Okay.
Do some research. You might realise, you might find out that you're in for
Entitled.
some compensation.
Yes. Marcia, let me say thank you. Thanks for
Yeah.
that message. Thank you very much.
Thank
Well,
you.
guys,
Thank you for having me back.
look after yourself. Thank you. See you soon. Catch you. Well, guys, let me say thank you once again. Breakthrough TV, my time is here. Thank you for tuning into the program. Thank you for being patient with us. Have a good afternoon. Have a good night. Have a good week. And we'll see you once again in December. I'm Carl with Breakthrough TV.
Road, New Style Radio, 98.7 FM, Breakthrough Studios, and Reggae Jam Jam.
Planning an event? Do it professionally. Please contact Breakthrough Event Management Team and get everything under one roof for both indoor and outdoor occasions, birthday parties, bridal and baby showers, anniversaries, funerals, backyard BBQs and more. We offer a video and photography service, marquees, decoration and a PA system to hire, with popular new style radio DJs spinning old and new school hits. Please contact 07584 197 380 and book all your catering needs with Reggae Jam Jam catering service on 0787 244 3765. And remember, do it good and done.